So, DJ, welcome to the Halfspce podcast, man. It's really good to have you here. Um, we like to kick off with just asking kind of like an icebreaker question. As you know, it's the kind of season of the World Cup. So, we want to kind of give to you this question of who do you think is going to make the finals? Not win, but who do you think is going to make the finals?
I'm gonna go with first of all, actually, thanks for having me here. It's a pleasure also to be here with you. Um, and who do I think is gonna be in the final though, or the World Cup? My heart wants to say Brazil,
Mm.
but I feel like my mind's telling me PSG is gonna be in there against. I want to say, Portugal.
Portugal.
Yeah,
Man's got PSG on the mind, you know. You're thinking of France.
France. Oh my days, that's crazy.
No, but to be honest, a lot of those
France.
players
No,
that play for
literally.
yeah,
When I think of France,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just literally thinking of the
PSG,
PSG players that
yeah, yeah,
that are really in there. 'Cause even when I'm watching football in general, like
yeah.
I only really care about the players who I know who can really make a difference. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Whoever they are in whatever team, those are the only players who I pay attention to.
yeah.
Like when I was playing
Mm,
and when I'm watching TV.
mm.
So yeah, no, France. Of
So
course,
you
not
think out of those
PSG.
PSG players, you think Dembele is the one that can make a big
For
difference?
sure, he can because of the way how he plays football. He can make a difference like at any given time, whenever.
Yeah.
He's so both footed. He's
Mm,
so fast. He's gotten better at his end products now. Do
yeah.
you know what I mean? I feel like obviously he's been so unlucky before with injuries and whatnot, but he's proven like recently how much of a baller he really is. You know what I mean? He's like,
Yeah.
but it's the same. Like he's got the same qualities as like Mason Greenwood, for example.
Mm,
These players are players who are like these. He will always be able to have crazy impact in games.
mm,
It's like a guaranteed thing. So obviously,
yeah.
it's one of those things. But yeah, no, France,
France is the one.
France.
And actually, like even talking about Dembele, you've mentioned like his journey. You spoke about injuries, and even for me, even our topic today that we want to chat about is the importance of like belonging, like journey, but also mindset. And I think when I think about Dembele, I often even just kind of pivoting towards yourself, I think about like, those three frameworks you've had similar in your path as a footballer. And so if we were to kind of like rewind it back, just for the viewers to let's talk about the origins of your story. What does that look like and where does it start?
Okay, so I come from, I would say, very loving, humble beginnings. Very family orientated. I grew up in North London, Haringey, and at the time, um, for me, yeah, like I said, I just loved everything. It's life, you don't know nothing else. That's the only thing you know. So yeah, I come from a very loving mum, a very strict father who shows his love in his ways. Which is something that I had to understand earlier as well.
Mm,
People show love in different ways. Um, what it was like for me, if you know anything about Haringey during these times, so obviously I'm 1998, and so what year would that have been when I was living there? So the first 16 years of my life,
yeah.
I was living in North London, and there was a lot of, obviously for me being the ages that I was, you're around obviously you go to school, you're around the other teenagers that live in the local area, and during this time everything was very very heavy, gang culture. We're what, third generation from after the Windrush.
Mm,
That was a lot of us where I'm from, in my corner of North London. It's where a lot of us are. So a lot of us used to align, but there was a lot of inherited like street stuff
yeah.
that all the younger generations were privy to just by default.
Mm,
So it's hard to say, like, to speak about how it was compared to how I see it now.
yeah.
But looking back, everything was very heavy and dark, you know, but almost as if like that was just the normal. It was like that was how everyone felt safe around each other, you know.
Yeah.
The energy, whether it's daytime or nighttime, you know, when you're around a group of boys who are all feeling the same type of way, you know, all speaking the same stuff, wearing the same kind of clothes, you're projecting. It's like it's an energy that's pretty dark and low vibrational, you know, but it keeps everyone feeling safe and comfortable, you know.
Yeah.
So looking back, I see it as that. When I was there and young, just going through it, this is just beautiful. Everything's just beautiful, you know. Everything's nice. Everything's love. You don't really understand what's going on or know what's going on until obviously you start getting older and certain things start happening, and you start realizing that what's real life, and you know what I mean.
Yeah. And I think as you go through that kind of transition of kind of, you know, growing up to the area that you did in Harrogate, right?
Harringay, yeah.
Harrogate, and you know, having, you know, a supportive mum and a supportive dad. And I think as you mentioned, like, you know, that word strict, you know, his love and support was shown in a kind of like a strict manner in terms of, I guess you would pull it as another word, like discipline in that context.
Emotionless.
Yeah,
100%.
That you just know that he loves you through that, right?
Yeah.
And I guess you know, what did like both of those lessons of your parents, like what did that teach you, like from young, looking back?
So for me, I always used to just see. So look, my dad he reminded me very much of the older guys who was outside of in the area where I grew up.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So I identified them as being very, very similar. The only difference is that I know this person's my dad, so I have to actually listen to him.
Yeah,
when he's speaking, you know?
yeah.
So no matter how he's speaking to me or whatever it is, he's my dad, so I have to listen. That's just, I think that's just natural, just from having a dad. You know, like just everyone's the same, innit? But very, very similar to the people outside. But the people outside, it's like I somewhat felt the love from them. Whereas he's my dad, I'm expecting he's supposed to love me a bit different. But I don't really penny this as a child. I just understand that to be what it is. I understand also my mum is very soft and feminine, and I just understand that to be how a woman's supposed to be. So to me, I'm just like, it is what it is. Like I don't expect nothing different from you other than how you are, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like I said, it was just normal. I guess I more would lean like to my mum, like for example when things are wrong, or like when I want encouragement, or when I want uplifting, someone who understands me and who can, like, you know, I'll just go to my mum and she would give me that for sure.
Yeah.
So
And those things are quite, you know, important and key, right? Because when I look back at specifically my childhood as well, those things of being nurtured, of like having words of affirmation, trying to understand what confidence looks like, and then trying to be a person who wants to know, am I doing okay? Am I doing enough? But then when it comes to, I guess, our fathers, they have this kind of nature about them where you don't get nothing emotionally, but what you do get is this kind of, this driven, I would say, character, output of kind of this what's going to kind of keep you steady in life. And, you know, talking about kind of, you know, keeping you going, you've spoken about, you know, being around friends, being around a particular time of your life in the streets. What was it like in terms of like what kept the harmony within the streets? Like what was it about that? Was it the football, or just was it, you know, chilling with your friends? Like what was the hobbies like in terms of for you?
when you're young and you're growing up in these kind of environments, you kind of stay in the pockets that you live in. Play like people normally just stay in those them little catchment areas, and that's the only they don't really branch out or make friends with people from other places.
Yeah.
Like fortunately or unfortunately for me, I was bouncing around the whole of North London, like throughout those 16 years that I was living in London, and I've made really good friends and good relationships and good connections everywhere. You know, I guess. So that's just on that topic. But then also you say what kind of activities we was doing and stuff like.
Yeah.
we was just outside, really just chilling, like just there was just always a group of boys outside chilling. We could be playing football. Some people was just doing whatever it is that they need to do to be able to get by. Some players just want to have some kids just wanting to escape their homes, you know. Literally, like not in like not to say that it might have been, well, look, kids just want to play, and they want to play outside, they want to have fun. Some kids have a reason that they for them to leave the house. Some kids are just being kids, you know. But for whatever reason, everyone congregated outside, and it was always, obviously you used to see a lot of anything can happen at any given moment because you're dealing with so many different people and so many different characters. So it's like, I don't know, I guess activities. We used to play a lot of running games. Like I remember when I was younger, we'd be chilling on the block, and say for example, one of the older boys will come, and be walking around the corner with a big pit bull, like a massive pit bull, and just let it off the leash and just have it chase us, and it will just be. But we're talking like, you know, like when you see in the movies when the dog is
it's going.
Their saliva's flowing. Yep, literally, bro. And you know, like it's like if you fall over, if you miss, you're gonna get bit because this dog's not joking, and there's no one to like. There's no one's gonna save you. Like this is real life. That's like.
So how frequently did this happen? Was this like an everyday thing?
This was a regular thing. I swear to you.
No, that's true.
If anyone's watching this, they'll remember that. But so when I think back about that, even just little things like that was normal,
Yeah.
Okay, there was other games like we used to knock down ginger. Knock down ginger, and you
my
run.
Famous one,
yeah.
And
There's other games like you might play cops and robbers, and
all
these games. You might play a game called Letter Beats, where it's pretty violent. But all of these games, when you're young, you're running for real. Like you're running, you know, like sometimes look, a police van used to come into our estate when we was younger, just at night all the time. Sometimes people just start running, and everyone's just running, and it's like then police will start chasing you.
Yeah,
you know, like it's like everyone just wants to, like something a little bit.
Yeah.
At night, that's just everyone.
That's mad.
That's what it's like. So, everyone just wants a bit of excitement at night time. It's crazy. It seems like even from when we was young, we're playing outside in the dark where you can just about see each other. We're playing with all those games I just mentioned. We'll play that in like almost a pitch black, and it's like I don't know. It's like I don't know. There's something about being out at late nights and people just wanting and chasing excitement. That's what I also picked up from there.
And do you know what's so funny? Where you look back now and you look at those games, and we talk about mindset, right? What were those things kind of maybe like teaching you from back then? Because just to set that scenario, a pit bull, you know, for people who don't know, type it on Google. Like pit bulls are them. I mean, they're a type of breed of dogs, but knowing that a dog is chasing you, the mindset you must be under is probably fear, bro. Because it's either, like you said, if you drop on the floor, that's you getting munched. So, like, did you enjoy it for the thrill of it, or did you think, man, was you scared?
It was the thrill. I thought, look, there's always a big group of us. So I used to always think to myself, like, whatever's going on right now, we're all kind of experiencing the exact same thing. So I can't be the one who's scared or backing down or moving like he's not really, like this is too much for him because like no one else is doing that. No one else has gone running home because they're too scared. So it's like maybe I'm just being too soft. You know, I'm trying to. So I'm just like I'm just rolling with it. When I'm looking, obviously I'm fast. Like maybe that made me. This is what I'm trying to say. Look, doing this kind of stuff, running from dogs like who are chasing you for real.
Yeah.
Like just even. Yeah, because that's like you said, it's a fear factor. You're scared you're running for your life.
Adrenaline just comes in, kicks in, man.
So if you're running for your life, you're training. You're training in a different kind of way.
Yeah.
You know, this is your formative years. You're young. We're young. We're running, and we're running on hard ground. Like we're really, and then that's like a little small. Not to say that we go outside, get chased by a dog, go back home.
Yeah.
We're out from morning till night doing the same stuff. And you might get chased. That dog might get let off the lead maybe 4. You know, like it's a lot of training that you're putting into your body. And so, I think these are little small things. But sorry to go off track. What did you actually?
No. That was a topic, man. Just like the mindset of going through being chased by the dog is like, I think often like what would be going through my mind, like like going through that. And like you said, it's the fear, the adrenaline, but it's also as well, it's kind of like training you up for something bigger. And even talking about kind of just talking about something bigger, playing the games that you did, and looking at the pathways of where your life was going. where did football come into play? Was football kind of like something that your boys just did, you know, in the area, or
Okay.
was it something that where did you pick that up, and where did that love come in for football?
Okay, so this is even a crazier topic, yeah. It's football, yeah, cool. So everyone, of course, everyone plays football. Every young boy wants to play football. There's always like a football school or something nearby. My older brother played football before me, but it's actually crazy. The first person like who I would say what kicked off my passion for football, obviously, is watching Ronaldinho and Messi on YouTube clips and stuff like this. It being the thing to do, play football, is like that also makes me want to play. But also, what actually, because look, it took for a lot of practice to become good at football. This is what a lot of people don't really understand. You know, like a lot of people think, like obviously it depends on who you are, but for me it was a lot of practice hours. You know, like they say 10,000 hours. I think I cleared that so young. I probably was doing crazy hours, but that's so. Look, I was in reception, and I had like a lady friend of mine who was in year 6 in primary school, and she used to always, like, me and her was really close. Like, she used to sometimes even walk me to school and whatnot. And then she was leaving in year 6. Obviously, I was just joining in reception. And at the end of, you know, like the end of the year, they have like this summer like fete at school where they like, there's bouncy castles, there's like a football, whatever, there's like football challenges and all these little games and stuff to win raffles and whatnot. It must have been then she bought me like a pink football. I remember in these times I lived in a council estate, so this was perfect. I could play with this inside my house.
Yeah.
She went to wherever school she went to, and then I took that football home. And me, I had a really strong connection with this girl. Like, it's weird, but then I never saw her again. But I only had the football that she gave me. And obviously at home now, I wasn't actually allowed to play out these. I'm talking to my early stages. I wasn't actually allowed to play out because obviously just protection wise, and obviously, yeah, my dad had us under some strict rules. Like, weekdays you're not allowed to play outside, like whatever. So yeah, I ended up just being inside and playing football non-stop. Just be locked in. So like, literally, when I say non-stop, people think I'm just, you know, like people say, I'm not exaggerating. Like, because I wasn't allowed out, it's the whole day I'm playing football for. I'm stopping to drink and go toilet, and then football's actually, I'm playing with this ball inside my house. That's what I'm doing most of the time. This is luckily before phones and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I'm talking these, like, luckily I'm in like the middle. I'm in like a gap where I got to experience a childhood without phones. That's what I mean. Like, was outside climbing trees. I'm naturally so strong from all of these. This is things that I realized later on, like playing for Man United and stuff, and going around the world in all of these physio rooms and whatnot. And they're looking at my body. They're looking at me like, what? Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Even not just like all the time, but it's because of these early ages. We grew up climbing trees, climbing fences, like running, playing outside for all day long. Like, it builds you different, completely different.
There was kind of like serenity to your surroundings kind of thing, innit? Like
Yeah.
being on bikes and just being out in nature and, you know, running, walking, doing all those things. Like, I think we're very kind of big for our upbringing, and I can relate to that very much so. And so, just even on that point of you playing football inside, what was that kind of transition like for you? Because, you know, you spoke about, you know, being outside with your friends, and, you know, now the game starts to change a little bit, going from kind of like knockdown ginger to then like playing football.
Oh no, no, this was in the reverse now.
Okay.
So this was in the reverse. So look, me being inside playing football, that was literally from since I was 4, all the way up until I was like maybe like too cool. I must have been like,
Okay.
so too cool to play football inside.
Yeah.
So that must have been like maybe what? Yeah, 8.
Yeah, 8.
Yeah, where I'm just like, that's I would be there like 14.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah.
So what did that transition look like in terms of like, let's talk about like aspirations. So like, now that you're playing football, people are starting to clock on, wait a minute, like this boy's got something. Who spotted that?
Yeah.
But then also the second question, aspirations, how did that impact your friendships around like your area?
Okay, cool. So that's unfortunately or fortunately again for me. This people realized when I was 4.
Wow.
So when I was at
4 years old.
when I was at Broadwater Farm, a man called Clashford Sterling, MB, he was like, he used to take the training sessions and whatnot, and he saw me playing on the sideline, and then while my brother was training, and just he used to see me come like week after week. I never used to like watching them play. I wanted to do it myself, you know, like, so I just get a ball and just copy what I see them do. And then one day he just said, you know what, let him train. I trained, and you could see that I could actually, because remember, at home, I'm actually, these are coming to training to play football. This is what I started. This is what I realized early. A lot of people who want to play football, they go to places like training camps to play football. Me, I'm already playing football, so it's like I'm literally like, I used to take my ball to sleep with me. I used to take my ball and go to central London and dribble with my, like, obviously if I go with my mum and my dad, I'll be walking with them, but I've got a football, and I'm going through the whole busy crowd with a football the whole way, walking, jogging, like it was literally that kind of attachment I had. So when I'm going outside to like clubs and stuff around other kids, it's like obviously I was a bit nervous. I remember the feeling because it was so like, I'm only 4, but I understand, I know how to play football, so it's like doing the session. I know I can do it, but it's like everyone's watching. It's you know, I'm
all eyes are on you.
different things are hitting me, but it's like the football part. It's all like I'm too comfortable with it by that point already, because that's all I do at home. You know, this is what you guys do sometimes.
So you lived it, you breathed it, you kind of like, you know, as you said, you slept with the ball. So it felt like football became, would you say, was it a passion, or do you feel like it was three ways? Was it a passion? Was it an identity? Like, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to become? Or thirdly, was it kind of like an outlet beyond something else? Or was it all three? What do you think?
See, at this young age, I just honestly believe it was just a hyperfixation. It was just something that I couldn't, like, something, it fascinated me. The fact I can, like, you can do things with football that's amazing to me, like, that I still find amazing now. But like, let's put it this way, like, I used to do things like, you see, like, because you know, how council, even the whole estate, it's just it's unorthodox. There's lots of different things, and inside my house was the same. Like, I used to bend the ball like from my passage into the, like, in weird angles. I'm doing like impossible things every single day that that the rest of my family, they're just doing whatever they're doing. But I'm like, I wonder if I can bend it around here, make it bounce off that part of the wall, and you know, like, I'm doing crazy stuff like that all day long. So then by the time now, like, I'm understanding, like, so, and I'm only doing that because it's amazing to me. Like, you know, like, if you do something that you're not supposed to really be able to do, it's like, wow, I just done, like, who's gonna believe me? Like, that's amazing. This is what I'm proving to myself.
Yeah.
Over and over again, like, it looks impossible, but it's actually possible. You know. So then, yeah, that just literally fascinated me. I think I was just addicted on. Like, cause it's amazing. Like, to master a football, there's so much to master. There's so much parts of your body that you need to be able to be comfortable with the ball at. Do you know what I mean? So I guess that, and then on top of everything else, people looking at me like, yeah, you're so good. Like, people telling me that, look, you can, you know, you can actually do something with this. Like, everyone just kind of got behind me, so it just all made perfect sense. You know, like, it wasn't like I chose, or it was like, oh, I want to, you know, it was more like, this is my hyperfixation before I even knew that it was a big thing.
Yeah.
It was already a big thing to me.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's what it was. So then obviously, but the people who are looking after me and around me, obviously everyone's older and wiser. Everyone knows a bit more than me. I just love the game itself.
Yeah.
Knowing
So who were those people? Who were those people that kind of like, because you recognized it in yourself, but then who were the people that kind of saw that gift in you? Was it your parents, or was it also like the coaches? Like, who were those people? Who would you like? Yeah.
So I would, obviously at home for sure, my mum, because I would be like, I would tell, if I tell my mum, like, mum, watch this, I'll do it. She will gas me every time, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, my mum for sure, and then Classford, when I went to Broadwater Farm. Obviously, that was the first, like,
Was that close to you in terms of that club?
area wise?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's in Tottenham. That's in Broadwater Farm. That's in Tottenham.
Okay.
So it's in Haringey still.
Okay.
So I've gone there, and obviously that's my first football environment I've been introduced to, you know. And he's the one who let me train, and he had connections with Arsenal at the time, so
Okay.
you know, Arsenal was monitoring me, and then I was there, and then soon as I went to Broadwater Farm, to be fair, he just started speaking to Arsenal, and that's when all these academies, Chelsea, Tottenham, West Ham, they was all like having me and coming to train and that. But obviously you're still young, so it's before that first contract, which I ended up signing at Arsenal. But you know, before then I'm just going around and training at loads of academies,
So
as well as playing at Broadwater Farm.
so when you were at Broadwater Farm, who did you travel with? Your brother? Who took you? Your mum with dad?
Yeah. So my mum used to take us Broadwater Farm, me and my brother. Yeah.
Looking back, do you feel like, even like for the parents that might be listening to this podcast as well, what do you think of like the sacrifice of like the parents? Like, big,
Massive.
yeah,
Massive. That's what I mean. It's the whole family's got to be on board, in my opinion. Or in situations like that, I don't know. You know, like someone's got to be. You got to be able to. You got to have a strong team. You know, you got to have a strong corner, because yeah, even like, and it's a long. People say it's a short journey, but from the very beginning till the very end, it's long.
yeah,
You need a strong foundation.
some
because-
firm, yeah.
for
Because
sure.
I'm just assuming, because you know, growing up to where you did, especially in your state, when it came to that, you know, that family network, and you talk about having a strong foundation, what was that like for you, having that strong foundation compared to maybe other friends who may not have had that, especially now seeing your football trajectory like going up? What was the impact like for you in terms of like balancing that with, yeah,
It was tough. It always been tough. You know what's funny? I'm one of them people who, from when I was, this is why it's so easy for me to relay all of this information, because I remember, like I really remember. I remember the feelings that are associated to the things that I saw.
yeah,
So I really understand. I really understand, like, yeah, how it felt for me, you know. So like, yeah, I'll go to school and I'm noticing, obviously before school, I'm seeing how many single parents there are, basically, you know, single mums, and obviously and absent fathers, you know. You see it in the behavior of the children, in this state. You see how, I don't know. It's like, you get men who, because they're raised by women, they have women tendencies, but with a lot of testosterone, which means that they would deal with situations in ways that a woman would deal with it, but just with the fire of a man.
yeah,
You know, that's what I used to see a lot of. But really, like, I don't know. But then it's like, it's hard to say, because having a present father and a present mother doesn't mean that you're exempt from all bad that can happen, or,
yeah,
or,
yeah.
or everything that can happen. But it's just to say, I can see the balance is important. That masculine and feminine balance for humans to have is important. You know, you can see it, and when things are off balance, you can kind of tell. Well, I can kind of tell.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, I don't know. It's like, because look, most of the people I grew up with was like, they had absent fathers. Although my dad was a present father, emotionally he was very absent. So I didn't really see no difference between him and the older boys from where I'm from. So it's like, as much as, yes, I've got a father, it's like, it doesn't I don't feel any different to anyone else.